I should be doing homework right now, but I kind of don't feel like doing fucking anything right now. I kind of was gonna go to bed. I'm kind of sleepy, but I wanna, fuck, I actually do need to do some shit, but I'm gonna start talking to the mic instead of doing whatever I need to do because, fuck it, fuck it. It is what it is. It is what it is, you know? Um, but as it goes, I'm wondering, what is it like? What is it like to give up on your dreams? What does that mean in the modern day? Because you know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I actually have a sense of direction. It's pretty stable for the first time in my life for a long time. You know, See, I'm in college right now, trying to get a degree in something in the electrical field. You know, learning about ohms and shit. You know, resistance and current and shit. You know, um, so and I like it. I do like it. I kind of do enjoy it. You know, I enjoy it a lot. I think that feels nice to have a career path, a career path that not only lucrative but also pretty fun. Cause like troubleshooting stuff generally, just do that in my own time. It's very annoying a lot of times, but I do it right. And I just think about it sometimes, just like, you know, it's kind of funny. I used to be, well, I still am an artist, you know. I still feel very passionately about art, but it's kind of funny just seeing how things have changed. Changed my life. You know, and these are good changes, you know. I think getting the degree, certification or whatever I want would help me do anything I want, you know? Help me have a better, more stable income and shit. On the way, look for a job with the same severity. Looking for a job sucks right now. If you're watching this in the future, where looking for a job doesn't suck, which is unlikely because it probably will suck for the rest of time to varying degrees, right? But you know, that's the whole thing about it is that I don't know. It just feels interesting. I'm so fucking I'm so sleepy. I'm so sleepy. I'm so sleepy, but I need to talk into the mic. I'm very tired. I haven't eaten anything. I'm so tired and hungry. And the main thing about life at this point is that still have artistic aspirations. But then again, I say still have as if I remember. I basically have forgotten my entire childhood. I think if I try to remember back to it and it's just like gone. Like I remember certain things from it. The greatest hits, or like not even the greatest hits, the B sides and some of the good hits on the hits. But generally it's all a blur. I don't know if some people remember it with more clarity, or if this is the average way to remember it. But this is the way I remember stuff. And the way I remember stuff is that I want to be an artist for the entirety of my childhood, right? And even back then I had no real, I guess, illusions about being a full-time artist, being a stable job, or being a job that will make you any money. But now I have no illusions about it being a job because it is not a job. It is not a job anymore. It was whenever people would fucking commission you to do the fucking, what's it called, like the first Castle Versailles or whatever the fuck. It might have been whenever in the 70s you'd be like doing commissions for the Velvet Underground as Andy Warhol. But now nobody has goddamn money. I literally got lucky today because my bank canceled an overdraft. I got it from a fucking stupid ass car insurance bullshit. They said it's a one-time thing. I'm like, thank you. I couldn't afford that $30. It was gonna come out of my paycheck. But I'm just like thinking. I'm just like, that's what I'm really thinking about. You know, it's not the fact that art. sorry. Art didn't work for me. Not the fact that art didn't work for me. It's the fact that art just doesn't seem to be a job in general. And I don't mean art in the illustration, visual art sense. Also, I don't know why, but visual artists have such a weird way of viewing their medium. It's very strange, and I don't think I like it very much. But I mean art in the totality of it. Creativity, creative sense. Like music, right? Music, the only way you can get money is like going on tour and having really slim expenses, you know? Like I'm sure JPEG Mafia makes a lot more money per tour than like, I don't know, the drummer of King Gizzard maybe is a good one, because he has very few expenses in terms of what he needs on stage. You know, what he the time he has to do to set up, what he has to do to have people set him up. No, I don't know. I keep fucking yelling because this is getting ridiculous. I think I actually have like something. I think something's wrong with me. I think I'm too sleepy. I don't feel like sleepy to the point where I'm yawning this much. It's just that I don't know what's up with this. But, you know, music is not profitable unless you do massive touring and have merch sales. You know, you can't sell an album and have the album be your paycheck, you know? Which is good for like touring musicians. But you know, I think, you know, a lot of, like I said, a lot of money music is just trying to get that like tour and merchandise like mixture. As we see with YouTube, like with Glitch Productions, the only way you can fund animation is by doing a lot of merch sales. And that's cool in this case because Glitch Productions is greenlighting a lot of cool stuff right now. I think they're in a really good spot. I liked a lot of stuff they're making. Kind of want to even go back and watch the older stuff, like before I got into their stuff. But I think that, you know, that's kind of like a throwback to how it used to be, like Cartoon Network or whatever, where, you know, you'd have like Symbiotic Titan or whatever the fuck getting canceled because they didn't know how to market the fucking toys or whatever. And I'm like, if you knew how to market the toys, then it'd be fucking immensely popular. But you're stupid and you hate Genndy Tartakovsky. But you know, that's really the only way to fund animation is through that, or just like a fucking like parent company willing to just dump money in this shit to maybe get a profit, because there's a lot of box office bombs in terms of animation, and the company doesn't die, but the animation studio behind it usually does, and it's like, damn, that sucks. And like, you know, like illustration inherently just isn't profitable, just like as a thing, unless you license it. unless you license it. You have to license your illustration. You have to have a specific style and license it, and then maybe and have like commissions, like be commissioned for a production as like a director or like a specific staff member of the like the illustrative style, or like you have to be staffed essentially, or you have to be licensed, or you have to be commissioned by a lot of big name companies for it to really be profitable at all. Like people say, oh, $100 blah 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 commission is expensive. Like no, it's not. It's not. It's only expensive because it was expensive in terms of like what your expectations are for artists to charge, but in terms of like actually expensive like products and items. I mean, I guess it's expensive as a product, but it's not expensive in terms of what the artist is making from it, in terms of the profit ratio, profit margins. Profit margins, and whatever you like an artist says, the commissions are open. They're getting fucking pocket change, dog. Now, in comparison to a full-time job, if they're just doing it part-time, then it probably works out better. If they have less expenses, it works out better. And I'm not really a full-time job person, but I'm saying the average person, unfortunately, has a full-time job. Well, maybe they used to. I don't know about anymore, because the average person doesn't even have a job, because how the fuck you get a job nowadays? It's fucking ridiculous. But I think I like where I am personally at. I'm going to college. It's not going to cost me anything. I like my degree program. I think it's very interesting. I'm working hard, trying my best. Very sleepy. Very sleepy. Yeah, I'm dirt fucking poor right now. Everyone in my family is dirt fucking poor, and I hate it because I don't got a fucking safety net of any kind. If I gotta afford food, I gotta just like go to a fucking food bank, whatever. These motherfuckers don't got my back. But I'm doing my thing in college, trying to better my life and learn stuff that I think is cool. I think that's nice. It's very nice. But what I'm really just depressed about is just like the fact that people can't become artists professionally. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. It's just not gonna happen. It's just, I mean, and it's not anyone's fault except the economy. I guess the fucking investors, capitalists, blah 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 blah. But it's not like that person who's working hard to become an artist's fault. What if they live in a place like mine, butt fuck nowhere, that has nothing of value to anybody? Then what are they gonna do? They're just gonna they're just gonna just use nothing because they have nothing. How are you gonna move? You can't move to some place that has resources for your thing of study. You don't have because you don't have any money, because you live in a place that has no place to get money. It sucks. And it's like, what is a person who's an inspiring artist supposed to even try to do? Not even to because the dream of even trying to be remember when people used to make fun of actors, oh, I'm trying my hand and going to LA. Can't even do that anymore. LA's too expensive. You can't even do that anymore. It's literally too expensive. You can't even you can tell a place is bad to live in where you can't even escape it. Not even that you just can't live in it, you just can't escape it. It's like the fuck, man. That's terrifying. It's like if you can't live someplace, you can't not live someplace, then what do? You do fucking nothing. You don't. You don't do anything. You don't. It's just like thinking about that. Cause I'm just like, that sucks. I think that very much sucks. And I think that it makes me sad. It makes me very sad. Can I just say that in no uncertain terms, no irony, no joke or gag, no fucking meme about it, no no Philips CDI, no 16-bit, 32-bit, 64, no nothing. Just it just makes me sad. And talking to myself half asleep because clearly it mattered to me enough to do it, I guess. But you know, just think about it sometimes. Just think about it. It's like, wow, that sucks. But is there a solution? I guess there probably is. Like, the solution that any of these fucking all these fucking video essays have the same solution. Just make shit cheaper, dismantle the systems around us or whatever. And it's like, it's not gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. I mean, you could have hope. You try your best. It doesn't happen alone, obviously. That's one thing for sure. Definitely wouldn't happen alone. But it's not gonna happen within the means to have you in particular enjoy the result of that labor or result of that whatever you're looking for. So like if you want to be an artist, it's like, really the options are make your expenses as fucking pitifully low as possible. Just like make them like ridiculously low. Or I don't even know if you can sell out at this point. I don't think selling out is even possible anymore. Like, people are like, oh, you sell out. There's not even a way to sell out, to be honest. Like, I'll be honest. I think you could sell out by like doing X or Y, but as an illustrator, is there really a way to sell out? I mean, like, the way to sell out is to just not illustrate, to do fucking AI bullshit. That's the way to sell out. And I'm like, that's not even like within the confines of this conversation, really. I just think that, like, fuck, man. I don't know. This is stupid video. Rambling. I mean, like I said, I'm just fucking tired. I'm fucking sleepy. I'm fucking tired. I'm fucking sleepy. I'm fucking pitiful. But sometimes you just gotta talk about whatever you're thinking about without thinking too hard in it. Yawning every minute. Yawning every minute. Because you think it's important. Because that's just how life is, I don't know. I always wish I had something meaningful to say. Something, powerful, some kind of artistic message. Because I watched Fooly Cooly the other day with some friends. And I really wish that I could make something like that. And, it's scary to think one day I will never achieve that, I just always will be too busy. I'm glad I made my last album. Because if nothing else, I have one thing that's like... Because the first Red Spots album that includes vocals was a testing ground. It was very nice. I like the production on that one. But the Amen Brother, that one's the album where I really pushed myself. And I think that's like the work of art I'm most proud of at this point, you know? In terms of thing. Like in terms of listenability, accessibility, skill, time, effort put into it. But I will say my soul does lie with my animated series, and you know, it makes me sad that I'll never be able to convey those characters to the point where I probably want to, you know? It's just like, I just don't think like animation is for me in terms like, you know, because you could like something, but you could not be good at it because it's like, I'm bad with my hands. I'm bad with like my fingers, you know? Have very poor handwriting. I think of my fingers. I'm good at like understanding electricity stuff, probably working with that because it's like, well, I'm not even amazing at that, but you know, better than that because you don't have to be as, I guess you don't have to be as precise in a way. But you know, my soul lies with my characters, with characters in general. I want to tell stories, right? And with music, especially with music, you feel very limited in certain factors, you know, because you cannot visually convey stuff aside from the album cover or the music videos, right? And you know, like when I was a kid, I wanted to make an anime so bad. I'll make a video game too. One of those two. And you know, eventually realized it's not very easy to make those things. And for an anime, it's, you know, debatably possible. Debatably possible in the first place. I guess Giguk did it, so I guess anyone could do it if they have like $1 billion. But you know, it feels kind of scary to just admit like, you know, maybe I might not do that. I'm not old enough where that's, you know, a legitimate possibility where I'm just like, oh, I'm going to objectively die before I get anything cool like that done, you know? But, you know, I feel like it's not impossible. It's terrifying. It's not impossible, you know? Because the only way you can get stuff done in life is to push yourself to do it, you know, to really just get past to just do it, you know. It's like the same thing I'm doing in college, you know. And I really just hope that I'll be able to live somewhere where it's not, you know, fucking horrible all the time, and live in conditions where I'm fucking penniless all the fucking time, and I always have some fucking issue. I just hope for a better life where I can, you know, just, you know, thing. But the issue is that, you know, it's that whenever you see, I'm terrible at thinking. I'm half asleep. I'm gonna post this though because who gives a fuck, you know? Who gives a fuck? I think that's a nice way to think. You know, just dump whatever you have thinking somewhere, you know, because there's no reason to give a fuck anymore. I don't think there's a reason to give a fuck in a bad way. There's a reason to give a fuck about stuff you like. There's a reason to give a stuff about stuff you're passionate about. But people give too much of a fuck about stuff that's not benefiting them, that's not helping them mentally, or hurting them mentally, you know. It sucks, like for them and for other people, because like, you know, you're putting so much fucking of your energy into stupid bullshit, and I think that's stupid. Yeah, I think that's I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm half fucking asleep. I feel like this is like listening to someone just rant before they like go to bed or whatever. Like, mumbling stupidly with no meaning, with no discernible point to it, I guess. But my whole point is that, you know, have I given up on my dreams? I don't know if I have. I don't think I have. But it's like scary. I really am pushing myself. I'm trying to move to Germany. I'm trying to move to Germany right now. It's the main reason I'm getting my degree done, because I want to move to Germany, because I don't like the United States anymore. People say, well, if you don't like this country, get out, motherfucker. Pay for my ticket, because I don't like it here. And I think it's kind of interesting when it's like, you know, I'll gladly leave. Like, set up the table. I will gladly leave. But like, what's the fuck is it called? I'm sorry, my brain's blanking out. I haven't eaten in a while. I'm trying to better myself, try to better my life, and I really just hope that, you know, trying to change my life in these positive ways will give you more an opportunity to do stuff I, you know, care about, instead of being depressed about being poor and being with my stupid ass family I hate a lot of members of, not everybody. Shout out to my family that I like. And being in this stupid place that fucking sucks and is boring and has nothing for me and nothing for everyone, and everyone complains about it, but they can't move because they're too poor to move. You know, it's terrifying. You know, it's like you're stuck in one place. I think that's why Fooly Cooley resonated with me so much, you know, because it's like he feels kind of stuck in his one place. He wants some kind of escape from the mundane. He wants something interesting to go on. And I think that every time I rewatch that show, I get so like emotional, because it's like even to this day, I still feel that kind of similarity to him. You know, I still feel that kind of like camaraderie in a way, among other things. You know. That's the gist of it. But you know what I mean? Like, that's all I can say. That's all I can say. I mean, I'm so artsy shit. Complaining about economy, capitalism. But this one, I'm just tired. I'm just very, very tired. Like, literally physically tired, but also emotionally tired, spiritually tired. But I feel like it's a good sign that I still have my passion, you know, despite it all, you know, because I'm reading books about fucking Vespas. I want to get a moped. I want to get a Vespa. I want to get a Honda Metropolitan. That'd be cool. See, like, I think the main thing here is, like, you don't change your dreams. You don't give up on your dreams. You exchange your dreams. I think that's probably a good way to look at it. Where it's like, instead of getting a regular car, because I blew my money on that, so I'm penniless now, could save up for a scooter, and then could feel like the Vespa lady. Feel like her, Haruko. And then I'd feel free in my own way, you know? You know, because when I was a kid, I dreamed of getting a Nissan Skyline, right? I was like, man, I really want a Nissan Skyline. I didn't know what a manual transmission was. I didn't even know what an automatic transmission was. I didn't know I didn't know what a fucking car was. Barely. But I wanted a Nissan Skyline for my entire childhood, right? And I never got it because they weren't even street legal in America. That's the fucking worst part of it. I didn't find that out until I was like an adult. I didn't even know they weren't street legal. That shit made me mad. I was like, what? How the fuck are they not legal here? But yeah, they weren't street legal until, like, I think literally this year, if not a couple of years ago. I think it's 25 years. I don't even think they're street legal yet. It's very hard for me to remember. But the whole point is that it's you know, I think the lesson I'm learning as I'm talking here is, you don't give up on your dreams, more as you exchange your dreams for other dreams, because, you know, I think at this point having a cool Vespa would probably make me more happy than having a Nissan Skyline, because I just know what goes into owning a car. And I know that, despite cars being cool, I'd love to learn how to drive a cool manual transmission Nissan Skyline. Be the funnest experience of my life. It's not something I could just live with daily. That'd enhance my life. If I do think a scooter would be fun, it's on a daily, because you just feel like you're dodging the riffraff. You're not paying fucking, all your money in gas and insurance. It's like that kind of thing. It's like making those decisions that really enhance you in little ways. I think I think that's what I am now. And I guess see, the thing about music right now is that every time between albums, you're in the will I cook again phase. You're like, sure, the last album's pretty good, but will I cook again? Is this the last one? Is it going to sound samey and lame for the rest of my life? Am I washed? And then, you make another tape. You're like, that's pretty good. And then you go on the next one. The same thing happens over and over again. This has happened to me 6 times at this point. It happens every time. So music. It's always very easy to feel depressed about the project that you're working on right now. Because it's so easy to say, oh, I'm so in my routine. It's all samey. But to someone else, it's damn, that sounds good. But because structures, they pop out to the musician so much. You think about a review before it even happens. You're your own critic, but you're also your own biggest fan. And it's scary to think the one thing I'm good at is music, artistically. And if I'm not even good at that, it's what's the point? I'm doing a lot better mentally right now. Talking to my therapist and shit. But, that used to fuck with me a lot. It used to, kill me. Because it's what is the point if I'm just not good at art? Because I just feel it's so integral to human existence, I used to overthink it a lot. I used to really just overthink it too much. And now I think I have a healthier relationship with art, but I think that still it's very necessary to coincide, just really keep a distance with that kind of thinking, I guess. It's it's very depressing to think that you'll never cook again. But I guess it's just a matter of just give yourself time, just do other things, So I've all done it all before, you have to just give yourself the chance to oh, I'm gonna let this album take its time. It's gonna do its own thing. That's all I can really say. And that's the thing with any kind of artistic medium. I guess it's just it'll come in a time. It'll come when it's ready. D'Angelo died today, and made me feel weird because it's my mom told me about that, and I guess our own D'Angelo and this generation, I guess, would be Frank Ocean, right? And I listened to Black Sugar, or Brown Sugar, and I listened to what's the other album? Voodoo. And these are fucking fantastic records. These are great albums. But I'm thinking about that, that he died. I feel Black Vanguard, or the album was called, I think it was called that. definitely needs more attention. I think there's going to be a reevaluation of it now that he's passed. But, you know, that's just my idea of it. But, you know, I think that, you know, Frank Ocean, it might just literally just end up like that, you know, just like he just never makes another record. And, you know, if it doesn't come, it just doesn't come, I guess. You know? Maybe he's making albums, he's just not posting them. Or, you know, releasing them. It's fine. But it's just like, you know, it is what it is. I guess, you know, but, you know, it's, you just can't force it, I guess. That's probably what I'm getting from here. You just can't force it, I guess. You know, life is gonna take you the way it wants you. I don't think I'm giving up on anything. It just feels like weird. Just the contrast. You know, I feel like I'm having a therapy session right now. My apologies, but the contrast just feels weird. You know, I just feel like art is in a strange place right now. There's a lot of music is doing pretty good if you look. The new Clips album's fucking amazing. Like literally Mobb Deep dropped an album that's pretty solid. Like the other day, right? A lot of greats doing their records. I guess Mobb Deep this is their last record. Posthumous. But you know, a lot of good animation coming out despite it all. I think we're just like, it just feels like life in terms of art, in terms of general. Like I think life feels like a wasteland a lot of the times now. You know, it feels like we're just fighting over scraps. We're fighting over dust piles and bottle caps and scraps and nothing else really. And you know, I'm doing pretty well mentally, but I think that's a way to describe it, you know. And I think if you know what I mean, if you listen to this far and you know what I mean, you'll get it, you know. It doesn't feel like, you know, there's certain experiences that make you feel whole, but a lot of life is just shallow, at least the way that, you know, it is right now for me. You know? And I think the hope is that eventually you'll find your way to feeling whole more and more of the time. You know? I feel like even if you have a bad day, you feel whole. Like this is existence. Like you feel like as a being, I am feeling emotion. I'm not going through the motions. I feel like I'm experiencing what life is, you know? But, you know, I don't know if it's because of just social media, the lens through that life exists, or that all my friends are online. I think all the internet has a lot to do with it, because, you know, the internet, it did used to feel a lot more whole, and the ratio of which the time we spend on the internet, and the ratio of which that versus what it feels like how it feels whole, it feels fulfilling. I think fulfilling is a better word, you know. I think that's probably a factor in this, you know. But maybe it's because I'm just tired. Maybe I'm burnt out. But, you know, maybe that's why I just need to record this, me talking to myself for no particular reason, for no particular person, for nothing in particular, you know. Maybe I just need to do something that's like makes me feel whole, you know, despite it all. I feel like I had a little bit of break the other day, but I took that entire time to just sleep. It was a nice sleep, but you know, I'm just wondering what is all this? What is this life thing? If we can't, you know, if we're always broke, depressed and unfulfilled. It's the quest for more. I think that's it for me. It's the idea that, at least right now, that I'm, doing well enough to continue um to a certain end. It's just the quest for more. The idea that life will give you more the more you put into it. Not in terms of like economics, because if you look for that, you'll always be failed. But in terms of like fulfillment, you know, because I feel like the path of fulfillment is very close. It feels a lot closer than it did a little while ago. I don't know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I feel like I have a good relationship with my friends right now. I feel like being in school and learning stuff about cool degree, I think will benefit me monetarily and perhaps mentally, just because the security and the work, and also just having work that I know will be satisfying somewhat. I think that will help me in a good sense. Studying German, that's fulfilling. I think it feels fulfilling whenever I feel like I'm learning stuff. Whenever I feel like I'm stupid, then I feel a little like I feel like I'm an idiot. But I guess it's just like you gotta find fulfillment in whatever I'm doing. You know, whatever I'm doing. I guess. Like sometimes you just gotta talk to yourself and just really think it out. You know, this is really a link to a therapy session. But I think generally, I just need to do more things that I find fulfilling, I guess. And it always sucks whenever you have answers like that because they sound so flimsy and lame. But it is true. It is true. It is true. You know? I guess I'm done recording.